The story opens on a grand alien meeting station orbiting a dying red sun. The light from the star paints everything in gold and crimson, a reminder that even stars do not last forever. Inside the Great Hall of the Galactic Council, voices echo. Dozens of alien species gather around a circular chamber of glass and metal. Their banners hang high, each color representing power, pride, and peace. For the first time in history, humans have been invited to join them. The air buzzes with curiosity. Some aliens whisper to each other. Others stare in silence at the small human ship floating outside the station, a simple diplomatic cruiser. No weapons, no escort. Only one ship. It looks harmless. Too harmless. Commander Varen of the Drath Empire, a tall, scaled being with dark crimson eyes, sits in his seat at the edge of the chamber. He watches the human delegation step into the room. Their faces are calm, polite. Their leader, Ambassador Holt, walks with quiet confidence. For centuries, humans had been considered a minor species. Brave perhaps, but primitive. Yet now, here they stood, face to face with the oldest empires in the galaxy. "Let us welcome our new brothers from Sol," announces the council speaker, his voice echoing through the hall. Polite applause follows. The humans bow slightly. The room feels peaceful. For the first time in a long time, there is no talk of war. Only unity, only hope. But Varen's instincts whisper something different. Something cold. He turns to his aide. "Scan their ship again," he murmurs. The aide's thin fingers dance over a holographic console. "Sir, scanners can't read the hull. It's absorbing our signals." Varen narrows his eyes. "That shouldn't be possible." Every alloy leaves a trace. Outside, the small human cruiser floats silently. No movement, no energy spikes. Yet space itself feels heavier. Then something changes. A faint distortion crosses one of the station's moons, like a shadow gliding across its pale surface. It's gone in a second, but Varen sees it. "Sir," his aide whispers, voice trembling, "there's movement behind the human ship." Varen frowns. Impossible. There's nothing there. He leans forward, adjusting the display. The sensors show empty space. Still, his heart beats faster. The peace ceremony continues. Ambassador Holt speaks in a calm, steady voice. "We come in peace. Humanity seeks friendship, not conquest. Together, we can build a brighter galaxy." The hall fills with soft applause once again. But beneath the surface of the station, something hums, low and deep, like the growl of a hidden beast. The glass panels tremble slightly. Many ignore it, thinking it's the station's engine. But Varen knows better. He looks at his aide again. "Do you hear that?" "Yes, Commander. It's coming from outside." The hum grows louder, deeper, spreading through the hull of the station. Lights flicker. The stars beyond the glass seem to bend. "What is happening?" Someone shouts from the council chamber. Alarms start flashing. The council guards rush to the windows. Varen stands. His voice cuts through the noise. "Visual feed, now!" On the holographic screen, the image of the human cruiser fills the center. Still calm, still unarmed. But behind it, space begins to twist. A faint blue ripple spreads across the void. Then another. And another. The distortion grows, outlining something huge, something impossible. Gasps echo through the hall. Varen's aide whispers, It's a ship, sir. A massive one." The ripple deepens, tearing space apart like a curtain. Out of the darkness, a shadow form, silent, colossal, and terrifying. A human dreadnought. Its black armor absorbs light. Blue energy veins pulse across its hull like living veins of fire. Dozens of weapon arrays rest silent, aimed at nothing. Yet at everything. The station trembles under its presence. The dreadnought's engines hum like thunder, and then silence. Every alien in the chamber freezes. Some step back. Others whisper prayers. Varen cannot speak. He can only stare. Ambassador Holt turns his head slowly toward the window, then back to the council. His expression remains calm. Too calm. He says only one sentence. "Peace lasts longer when everyone remembers what war looks like." No one moves. No one breathes. Outside, the dreadnought hovers, and silent, patient, and unchallenged. Its very presence speaks louder than any weapon. The peace conference that began with hope now hangs by a thread. Every species in that room realizes the same thing. The humans didn't come unarmed. They came prepared, and as the great red sun burns dim outside the window, Commander Varen whispers to himself, the war never ended. It just waited. The human dreadnought turns slightly, its dark metal catching the red light, like the eye of a sleeping dragon opening for the first time. The stars fall silent. Peace lasted only seconds. And then, the galaxy met the truth of humanity. The Galactic Council chamber fell silent. No one spoke. No one even breathed. The gigantic human dreadnought floated outside, its black armor glowing faintly under the red sun. It was beautiful and terrifying, a silent beast watching its prey. Commander Varen stared at the display. His claws tightened around the edge of the console. The dreadnought was unlike anything he had ever seen. No known empire could build something that size and hide it so perfectly. It wasn't just a ship. It was a statement. The council guards raised their weapons, unsure of what to do. The council speaker's voice trembled. Ambassador Holt, what is the meaning of this? The human smiled politely. Meaning? Nothing dangerous, I assure you. Our ship is here for security, just to make sure no misunderstandings happen. Varen's scales tightened. You call that security? He pointed toward the window where the dreadnought's outline covered half the station's sky. That is an act of intimidation. Holt's expression didn't change. Commander, please. Humanity believes peace is best protected by strength. Surely the Drath Empire understands that. A low growl echoed from Varen's throat, but he said nothing more. Around the room, alien leaders whispered nervously. From the observation deck, the dreadnought was a monster of shadows. Its engines made no flame, yet its hull shimmered with silent power. The ship's name appeared faintly on the side. HSS Dominion. Every scanner on the station tried to analyze it, but the readings came back broken. The dreadnought's system scrambled all sensors. Its armor absorbed radar, light, and even energy waves. It was almost invisible to the universe. Then a message flashed across the Council's communication screens, short, cold, and direct. Do not target human vessels. This is a peace mission. That single line spread through every ship in orbit. No one dared to move. Inside the station, the air felt heavy. The council meeting that was once filled with pride now smelled of fear. The humans stood calmly in the center, untouched by the panic around them. The council speaker wiped his forehead nervously. Ambassador Holt, please ask your fleet to power down. Holt looked thoughtful. Fleet? Oh no, speaker. That is not a fleet. That is one ship. A murmur spread through the chamber. Some aliens gasped. One delegate fainted. Varen couldn't believe it. One ship? You expect us to believe that one vessel could destroy this station? Holt finished softly. He gave a small smile. Yes, it could. The chamber went dead quiet again. Varen's aide whispered to him. Commander, our defense systems are jammed. We cannot raise shields or contact the fleet. What? The human signal is blocking all frequencies. We are blind. Outside, the HSS Dominion began to move. Slowly, gracefully. Its engines left no trail, only a deep blue glow that pulsed like a heartbeat. It circled the station once, as if watching, studying, warning. For a moment, it stopped directly in front of the observation glass. The size was unbelievable. It wasn't just big, it was overwhelming. Every alien who looked at it felt small, powerless. Then, without a sound, the dreadnought's main cannon rotated, not aimed at the station, but just beside it. A faint beam of blue light cut through space. It struck a nearby asteroid. The rock didn't explode. It vanished. Turned to dust, the message was clear. The aliens froze in shock. Some screamed. Others stepped away from the window. But the human ambassador remained calm. Peace, he said quietly, is strongest when no one dares to break it. Varen's claws scraped the floor. His heart pounded with a mix of fear and anger. This is no peace. This is control. Holt looked at him and replied, Control is what keeps the weak from starting wars they can't finish. Every word hit like a weapon. Every second stretched into eternity. The council meeting ended without a single agreement. No one argued, no one dared. The humans walked out calmly, escorted by guards who were more nervous than protective. As they left, Varen turned to his aide. Track that ship. I want to know where it goes. The aide nodded shakily and began typing. Commander, it's gone. What do you mean gone? I mean, it vanished, sir. No warp trail, no signal, nothing. It's like it was never here. Varen looked out into the red-lit space where the dreadnought had been. Empty. Silent. But the feeling of it remained. Heavy and cold. Like a shadow that refused to fade. He whispered softly, "They call this peace. But it feels like the beginning of something much worse." That night, across the stars, rumors began to spread. Whispers on every channel, in every port, in every system. The humans have a ship that can hide in the dark. They call it the Dominion. It can erase planets. Some called it a myth. Others called it a warning. But the ones who had seen it with their own eyes, like Varen, knew better. The humans had come to the council as friends. But behind their smiles waited the silent power of a predator. In the weeks that followed, silence spread across the galaxy. No one dared to speak openly about what happened at the Galactic Council. Yet every world whispered the same words: the humans have awakened. Commander Varen sat in his private quarters aboard his flagship, staring at the stars through the viewing glass. The image of the HSS Dominion still burned in his mind: black armor, blue fire, and a presence that silenced entire fleets. Reports flooded in from other systems. Human ships had begun to appear near border zones, not attacking, not speaking, just watching. Each time they arrived, pirates vanished, smugglers surrendered, and local warlords suddenly begged for peace. Varen's aide entered quietly. "Commander, another message from the Karth Dominion." "Let me guess," Varen muttered. "They want proof that the humans are bluffing?" The aide nodded nervously. "They say no species could build something that powerful in such a short time. They think it's a trick." Varen turned his gaze to the holographic map. "A trick?" He tapped a claw on the table. "If that ship was a trick, then why did my sensors fail? Why could we not scan it, not even once?" The aide had no answer. Varen leaned back, his eyes dark and tired. "No, this is no trick. The humans have been preparing for years. We just never noticed." He remembered the human ambassador's calm words. "Peace is strongest when no one dares to break it." Those words echoed in his mind like thunder. Far across the stars, on the human colony of Erebus 9, the HSS Dominion hovered silently above the planet's surface. Its captain, Admiral Reyes, stood on the bridge, hands behind his back. The crew worked quietly, their movements precise and disciplined. A young officer approached. "Admiral, the Galactic Council has gone silent. No threats, no messages." Reyes nodded. "Good. Fear travels faster than bullets." He looked out the viewport at the stars. "They needed to see our strength. Now they'll think twice before pointing their guns at Earth." "Sir," the officer said carefully, "some believe we went too far. They say showing the Dominion at a peace meeting was excessive." Reyes turned slowly, his cold eyes meeting the officer's. "Excessive? The Drath burned 3 of our colonies last century. The Karth enslaved human miners. Every time we asked for peace, they laughed. Now they listen." He walked toward the viewport. "Now they remember who we are." Meanwhile, back in Drath space, Commander Varen received a secret transmission. The signal was weak, distorted, almost hidden. He opened it. An alien trader appeared on the screen, his face pale and frightened. "Commander Varen," he whispered. "I was near the Oros belt when I saw it. The human dreadnought, it was harvesting something." "Harvesting?" Varen frowned. "Explain." "There were old wrecks there, ships from the last war. Human salvage drones were pulling them apart. The dreadnought oversaw the operation. They took everything: metal, reactors, weapons, even data cores. Then, without warning, they vanished again. The screen went dark. Varen stood frozen. He understood now: the humans were rebuilding. Every old ship, every piece of forgotten technology. They were using it. Not for peace, for preparation. He turned to his aide. "How many colonies have the humans expanded to in the last cycle?" 42 known, sir. Possibly more in the uncharted zones." 42? Varen whispered. "We thought they were weak, but they've been spreading like wildfire." The Galactic Council tried to hold another meeting weeks later, but half the members refused to attend. Fear had broken unity. The Karth Dominion, proud and arrogant, called the humans cowards, said they hid behind shadows and lies. Their fleet commander sent a single stealth drone toward Earth to test human defenses. The drone never returned. Hours later, every Karth ship received a message. No voice, no picture, only a symbol, a blue flame burning against black. Below it, 2 words, "We see you." The message sent panic across the Karth Dominion. Entire fleets pulled back. Border worlds went silent. No one wanted to be next. Back on the Drath flagship, Varen watched the galaxy tremble. He wasn't sure what scared him more, the dreadnought itself or the humans' calm silence afterward. "Commander," his aide asked softly, "what do you think they want?" Varen's eyes stayed fixed on the stars. "They want peace," he said slowly, "but not the kind we know. Their peace is born from fear, from power, and it works." He stood and walked to the window, staring into the void where the human ship had once appeared. "Mark my words," he whispered, "one day they will return. And when they do, the galaxy will not be ready." Across 100 systems, stories spread like wildfire. Miners told tales of invisible ships watching from the darkness. Captains swore they heard human voices whispering across dead radio channels. Some claimed to see blue lights move through the void, like ghosts of war. Most refused to believe. But the wise, they stayed quiet, because deep in their hearts they all felt the same thing, a weight in the silence of space, as if something powerful was always listening. A shadow. A warning. An echo of fear. The galaxy had fallen quiet. Trade routes reopened, pirate fleets vanished, and even longtime rivals stopped their wars. Everyone feared the same thing, the silent watchers from Sol. But peace built on fear never lasts. Far beyond the Council's reach, the Karth Dominion gathered its fleets. The Karth were a proud species, tall and armored, their worlds rich with iron and fire. They had conquered hundreds of systems, and they did not like to kneel. In their war chamber, Overlord Krex slammed his fist on the table. "This is madness," he growled. "The galaxy bows to a single human ship, a ghost? No one has seen it since the council meeting." His advisors shifted nervously. "Overlord," one said carefully, "the Drath commander Varen confirms the dreadnought's power. His fleets—" "Varen is a coward," Krex snapped. "Fear has poisoned him. I will not let humans rule through shadows." He leaned forward, eyes burning red. "We will expose their lie." Within hours, a stealth flotilla left Karth space, 20 warships equipped with cloaking fields and long-range scanners. Their mission was simple: find the human secret weapon, record proof, and destroy it if possible. They entered the Erebus sector, where the human dreadnought was last seen. For days they searched the empty void, nothing, no signals, no warp trails, only cold stars and dust. Then, on the 4th day, one of the ships detected something faint, a small energy pulse near a dead moon. The commander smiled. "Finally. Their phantom shows itself." They approached slowly, weapons armed, sensors wide open. At first they saw nothing, only a shadow drifting above the moon's surface. Then a voice echoed across every communication channel. Calm. Human. "This is restricted space. Identify yourself," the Karth commander laughed. "You hide behind your ghosts. Show yourself." The voice paused. Then came the reply. "As you wish." Space rippled. The stars twisted like light through water, and then, it appeared, the HSS Dominion phased out of the void, silent and enormous. Its black hull blocked the moon's light entirely. Every scanner screamed with interference. The Karth fleet froze. The Dominion didn't move. It didn't aim. It just looked at them. The Karth commander swallowed hard. "Target the ship," he ordered. No one moved. "Do it," he shouted again. The fleet's weapons charged, missiles, plasma cannons, torpedoes. For a moment, the space around the Dominion lit up with deadly light. The dreadnought did nothing. Every weapon fired. The blast hit the Dominion's hull and vanished. No explosion, no damage. Just a soft blue shimmer like light touching water. Then, one by one, the Karth ships began to lose power. Lights flickered. Engines died. Shields fell. Panic filled the comms. "Systems offline. Energy drain detected. We're being jammed." The Dominion's voice returned, calm and cold. "We offered peace. You chose to test it." The dreadnought's main cannon powered up. A deep thunderous hum filled the void. A single blue beam cut across space. Slow, deliberate, unstoppable. It struck the lead Karth battleship. The ship didn't explode. It disintegrated, breaking apart into glowing dust. The rest of the fleet scattered, trying to flee. But every jump drive failed. The stars around them warped and folded. "Run if you wish," the human voice said, echoing through their dying systems. "There is no edge to our reach." One by one, their ships fell silent. When it was over, the dreadnought didn't chase the survivors. It didn't need to. It simply turned slowly and vanished again into the black, leaving nothing behind but wreckage and fear. 2 days later, the story reached the council. The Karth Dominion denied everything, but whispers spread fast. Their fleet had vanished. Their pride had died in silence. Commander Varen watched the report in disbelief. He turned off the screen and sat back in his chair. "So it's true," he murmured. "They drew the line, and the humans erased it." His aide spoke quietly. "Sir, if the humans can do this to the Karth, what happens if we anger them next?" Varen didn't answer at first. He looked out at the stars glowing faintly beyond the glass. "The humans don't start wars," he said slowly. "They end them before they begin." Across the galaxy, the lesson spread like fire. No one dared to test the humans again. Every empire lowered its weapons. Every admiral thought twice before deploying a fleet. Children were told stories of the silent dreadnought that could appear anywhere, destroy anything and vanish like smoke. Merchants named it the Shadow King. Pilots whispered prayers to it before traveling through dangerous space. And in the cold silence between the stars, the humans watched quietly, unseen, unheard, but always the galaxy had gone silent again. No one dared to test the humans after the fall of the Karth fleet. The story spread faster than light. 20 ships destroyed in seconds by a single human dreadnought that barely moved. Some called it magic. Some called it terror. But the humans called it balance. Far from the eyes of the Council, the HSS Dominion drifted through deep space, quiet, patient, hidden behind its stealth field. Inside its dark hull, Admiral Reyes stood before a large viewing window. Stars stretched endlessly across the void, but his eyes were fixed on one, a small blue light that marked the location of Earth. "Status?" he asked. A voice replied softly. "All systems stable. Cloak active." "The galaxy is quiet, sir." Reyes nodded. "Good, keep it that way." The Admiral was a tall man, calm but tired. Decades of war had carved lines across his face. His uniform was simple, without medals or gold. He didn't need them. The ship itself was his proof of rank. Behind him, the ship's AI spoke, a calm female voice. "Admiral, surveillance drones confirm new activity near Drath space. Commander Varen is gathering data on our operations." Reyes smiled faintly. "Let him. They need to watch. Fear keeps them honest." The AI paused. "You still believe fear is peace?" Reyes turned to the glowing core where the AI resided, a spinning sphere of blue light. "I don't believe in peace," he said quietly. "Not anymore. I believe in survival, and survival requires strength." He walked toward the viewport. "The galaxy never gave humanity mercy. We begged for treaties. We followed their laws. And they still called us animals." He clenched his fists. "Now they call us something else." Elsewhere on the ship, corridors hummed softly. Engineers moved through glowing halls of blue light and steel. The Dominion wasn't just a warship, it was a city. A world in motion. Its power came not only from weapons, but from the people aboard, scientists, engineers, tacticians, and soldiers who had all survived humanity's darkest wars. In the training deck, soldiers practiced silently, their movements sharp and precise. Each one carried the same calm focus as their admiral. No rage, no pride, only purpose. One of them, a young officer named Lena Ward, whispered to her partner, "Do you ever feel bad about what we did to the Karth?" Her partner shrugged. "They were planning to invade one of our colonies. The Admiral stopped a war before it started." Lena nodded slowly. "Still, it's strange. We talk about peace, but everything we do feels like war." The instructor overheard them and said, "Peace is not a word. It's a weapon. Remember that." Back on the bridge, the AI spoke again. "Admiral, multiple council transmissions detected. They are calling for an emergency summit." Reyes sighed. "And what do they want this time?" "They want to discuss a treaty, one where all superweapons are banned." He laughed softly. "Of course they do. They want us to disarm while they rebuild. Tell them humanity agrees, on one condition." "Condition?" Reyes turned his gaze toward the dark stars. Every empire must open their shipyards for inspection, by humans. The AI processed this for a moment. They will never agree. I know, Reyes said. That's the point. They'll reject it and fear will grow again. Fear keeps the galaxy in order. He looked at his reflection in the glass. We are not conquerors. We are the reminder of what happens when the galaxy forgets humanity's pain. Meanwhile, in draft space, Commander Varen watched the Council's transmission unfold. He saw the humans' calm response and shook his head. They play with the galaxy like it's a game, he muttered. His aide replied, but they never lie, sir. Every move they make. It's honest, Varen leaned forward. Yes, that's what makes it terrifying. He turned off the screen and whispered, I've seen war for centuries. No species has ever fought like them. They fight without hatred, without emotion. That's why they win. Back aboard the Dominion, the crew received a new signal, a faint cry for help from a far-off human colony attacked by raiders. The Admiral's eyes hardened. Set course. Full speed. But sir, the officer said, if we reveal our position... They already know we're watching, Reyes interrupted. Let them see. Moments later, the Dominion's engines roared to life. Blue fire spread behind it like the wings of an angel made of thunder. As the dreadnought jumped to light speed, Reyes whispered to himself, let them remember why peace exists. Hours later, the raiders who attacked the colony never even saw the dreadnought arrive. They only saw a flash of blue light and then nothing. Their ships turned to dust in the cold of space. When the colonists looked up, they saw a single shadow hovering above their world, silent, protective, unstoppable. For the first time, they felt safe. In the months that followed, the legend of the Dominion grew. No one knew where it would appear next. Some said it guarded the weak. Others said it punished the proud. But everyone agreed on one thing when the stars went quiet and the air felt heavy. The humans were near and deep inside the dreadnought. Admiral Reyes watched the galaxy from his command deck. His expression calm and unreadable, he whispered softly, the truth of the dreadnought is not destruction, it's memory. We built it to remind the stars, never again will humanity kneel. The HSS Dominion drifted in the silent dark of space. The warship was quiet, too quiet. Only the soft hum of its engines echoed through the long steel corridors. Admiral Reyes stood alone on the observation deck, hands behind his back. Before him stretched the endless stars, and bright, distant, and cold. He had seen them for decades, yet tonight they looked different. Something was coming. Across the galaxy, rumors were spreading again. Alien empires were whispering of alliances, afraid of humanity's silence. The Council's broadcasts were full of panic. Humans are building more dreadnoughts. They plan to rule the stars. The Dominion is a weapon of war, not peace. But they were wrong. Reyes never wanted war again. He only wanted memory. A reminder of what humanity had suffered when others called them weak. Deep inside the Dominion, crew members worked quietly. Engineers checked reactor levels. Pilots monitored deep space scanners. Everyone could feel the tension. It was like the calm before a storm. Lieutenant Lena Ward, now promoted after the Karth battle, walked onto the bridge. She saluted. Admiral, long-range sensors picking up movement. Unknown signatures, multiple. Reyes didn't turn. How many? 25 ships, sir. Heading toward human territory. Transponders masked. A faint, grim smile crossed the Admiral's face. The Council finally makes its move. The ship's AI spoke softly. Shall I activate defense systems, Admiral? Reyes was silent for a long moment. Then he said, no, not yet. Let them come closer. He walked slowly to the command chair and sat down, eyes calm. Let them see what peace looks like when it's unafraid. The AI hesitated. They will fire first. I know. Minutes passed. Then the stars outside the viewport flashed. Energy readings spiked. The alien fleet had entered human space. Weapons hot. Shields glowing. Lena shouted, they're charging plasma cannons. Steady, Reyes said quietly. The bridge lights dimmed to red. Silence filled the air, heavy and sharp. Then came the first shot. A blinding beam of red light struck the Dominion's shields. The entire ship trembled but did not move, Lena gasped. Direct hit. No damage, the alien ships fired again. A rain of energy slammed into the dreadnought, lighting up the darkness. Still, the Dominion stood silent. Reyes finally spoke, his voice cold as space itself. Now, reveal us. In an instant, the stealth field dropped. The Dominion appeared, vast, dark, and alive, like a mountain forged from shadow and steel. Blue energy rippled across its armor as hundreds of weapon ports opened. The alien fleet stopped firing. They had never seen something so massive, so quiet. Reyes rose from his chair. Open a channel. Channel open, sir. The Admiral's voice carried through every enemy ship. Calm, deep human. To the fleets of the Galactic Council, you have fired upon a human vessel. You have broken peace. We will not respond with rage. We will respond with truth, he motioned to his crew. Show them. From the Dominion's main hangar, dozens of smaller drones launched, glowing blue spheres spreading across space. Each carried a message. They broadcast across every frequency, every species, every world. We do not seek conquest. We do not seek revenge. But we remember. The message changed, showing images, flashes of burned colonies, forgotten treaties, and broken human cities from the early wars. Then images of rebuilding, humans working side by side, lifting their world from ruins. When others turned away, humanity endured. When peace was shattered, humanity rebuilt it. We do not bring fear. We bring memory. The stars echoed with the transmission. Millions watched across the galaxy, in disbelief, in silence. The alien fleet stopped their attack. Some ships powered down weapons. Others drifted quietly, waiting. Admiral Reyes stood tall on the bridge. He knew they understood. Not all, but enough. The AI's soft voice broke the quiet. Admiral, the fleet is retreating. Reyes closed his eyes and exhaled. Good, they've seen enough. He turned toward the stars again. Order the drones to continue broadcasting. Let every world remember what peace costs. Lena hesitated. Sir, the Council will call this a threat. Reyes smiled faintly. Then they understand perfectly. He looked down at his gloved hands, scarred and steady. For every war they start, we'll end one. For every lie they tell, we'll show truth. That is the duty of humanity now. He walked slowly toward the viewport, where the blue light of the Earth's distant sun shimmered.